Hello my dear listeners, this video will be about the European debt situation in Greece and my opinion what's possible solution of this debt crisis. So I'm thinking that I'm following very closely what's happening in Europe, especially I'm betting money on this. I have interest to follow this and investigate this every day. So I think will be a structured default of the Greece, and there will be a European TARP program to save the failed banks, and we will have inflation, hyperinflation, because that's what powers what's the banks wants. Okay, so because there is some resistance, they are making this, they presenting this to the public like there is some kind of real debate, and how they are disappointed to save the banks, and the banks are not supposed to be saved, and they make this real issue. Okay, and because they just gonna in my opinion, who is in power, that's what's gonna decide how it's gonna play out. So that's what's gonna happen. And really those people, okay, in Greece that are wants to leave Eurozone, or wants to Greece to default and go back to drachma, and they think that it's gonna help the government workers, young unemployed, and your retirees, they are wrong. Okay, it's not gonna help anybody. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be okay if Greece leaves the eurozone. It can be for average Greek people. It's gonna be probably as much difficult as to stay in the eurozone. Okay. It's another question if you can have a sustainable growth on like 20 years time, but for the next 10-15 years, if you wanna verify what I mean, go and read about Belarus. Okay, they recently devalued their currency. They're supposed to have a booming economy. Everything is cheap. Labor is cheap. This idea that people advancing, if you devalue your currency, you have full employment, you have investment flowing into your country. No, guys, look, I will Belarus because it's more a recent example. I read the article that now all working people there, they leave Belarus to work in Russia because there is no jobs. There is no jobs there. People are so poor because the currency is it's so low that if you want to step outside of your country, everything is unaffordable. You cannot afford anything. You cannot even afford train ticket to leave the country for most part. So you stay there and you depend on the government, or you depend on the system, and you just watch and hope that things will just, somebody will come and get things better. But the people who comes, what they're doing, they are buying the assets for pennies on the dollars, and they are make things like Russian oligarchs, but gonna buy the Belarus productive capacities, and they're gonna pay cheap their labor. They're not gonna reinvest in Belarus. They're gonna take money out of the country, and that's what's gonna happen in Greece as well. And let me bring another historical argument here from what I've seen in Russia after 1991 collapse. So Russia devalued the ruble so much. I go back from Canada in 91 after 1 year, and I work and I saved. And I saved about 1,400 Canadian dollars. And that was incredible fortune in Russia. Like that was average salary per month was $50, and even less, at $20. If you work for a government, you were getting, my mother was getting paid like $10-20 per month. Being like a top teacher and getting the top teacher salary. So that's how ruble was devalued, and Russia didn't get the investment, full employment. Like even if you get employed, the labor is so cheap, you cannot afford anything. So like yeah, back to Greece. Yeah, the whole might be get employed in Greece, but they're gonna get paid. They're not gonna be able to afford any decent standard of living. And investments that come to Russia, the Russia been looted by local oligarch, by Communist Party, by military. They looted basically the country for years, and then they privatize all the profitable industries to a few people. And in the 90s, lots of those countries, lots of those people that looted Russian assets, Soviet Union assets, they basically bring money out of the country and they left. So it didn't bring the capital, it didn't bring full employment, it bring instability, criminality, and it didn't help the retirees, it didn't help young people employed. Lots of people left Russia. Population was in decline, incredible rate. Life was tough. People was disorientated, and in 1996, the people were so pissed off. They were close to re-elect the Communist Party back. Okay, because they want stability. That's what I want to explain people that they are think this, oh, Greek people, they now under this dictatorship of euro, and the retirees are protesting and young unemployed are protesting. But if those people, those retirees and government workers, if the Greece leave eurozone, it's going to be even worse for them. What those people are asking, literally, if I translate it, okay, if I bring it in my understanding, they just want to consume more that they produce, and I have no sympathy for that, okay? And because the only reason they are in this situation, because they've been irresponsible citizens, they mandate their power to their officials who, for political reasons, they bring Greece into this situation, and they just sit and wait there, and now they are protesting. So, they behaving like a teenagers who've been irresponsible, and now there's a time to pay for the consequences for the free lunch, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we didn't know the bankers are screw us up." Why they didn't protest the time the Greek entered the eurozone? It was, why they didn't protest? Why they didn't claim the power back? So. It's really like I have no sympathy for this, and I know if those people, the Greece leave eurozone, it's going to be worse. And in a year, those people, they will protest against the people that going to bring what they originally been asking, like the living eurozone. They will be insatisfied. The same way that Egypt revolution now insatisfied with the actual government. The same way that the Russian people were insatisfied in the government in 1996 after 5 years of looting the country was cheered by the West like the best thing that happened. The Soviet Union collapsed and people get those freedom. People don't want freedom. Okay, I explain. If you have that kind of freedom where there's no rule of law, and it's really difficult to explain this to Westerns. Okay, when you have a freedom and you can consume and produce. That's good, but in Greek, it's not going to get this kind of freedom. They're going to get the freedom to work for nothing, for free, and for really very low wages. That's the freedom they will get. And if they go outside of Greece after that, the eurozone will be very, very expensive, unaffordable for them. And they don't have a leadership. If they would, what I have sympathy, I have somebody like Ron Paul that's honest upfront to say it's going to get worse, but there's no way around. It's nothing actually. Other thing I want to talk in this video, it's nothing actually. It's people are talking about fixing the euro, fixing banking system, because banks around, it's really virtual concept. You can close all the banks and reopen them the next day with the new deal. And you can do this over and over again because there is nothing really to save, there is nothing really to fix. It's just some kind of virtual contract, that can be invented and reinvented and reshaped, because rules that existed, they don't even apply those rules. And debate is not even there. You have to create conditions where people will have the opportunity to produce most efficiently what they can produce and keep what they have, and be responsible and run their communities themselves, not mandate their power. If they mandate their power to centralized structure, they will get what they get, and they deserve it. If they make this choice, they enjoyed maybe 3, 4, 5 years of consumption, maybe 10 years like Greek people did, and then they will be poor for the rest of their life. But they did that choice. They have to be responsible and accept the pain now, and nothing magic will make their life better. There is no good politician that will save them. I just listened to Webb Tarpley, Alex Jones interview, and Webb Tarpley been talking about forget the student loans in Americans, because they have no jobs and they cannot, everything they will produce will be seized basically to pay those jobs. And he said Obama should pass the amnesty for the college student loans. That's something that needs to be not default, because default you're obligated to pay according to your capacity to pay, but amnesty means its date is written to the zero. There is nothing left. There is nothing. So this is some part of the solution to start, but people will not live better even if that's gonna happen. That's the point of this video. Life of the people is not gonna get better if they get what they ask for. They just don't realizing this, and they have to get responsible, and they have to learn how to reorganize their community and do the work of the politician inside of their community, to get political, get working inside, and to reinstitute the institute that they will control themselves and participate in those institutes themselves, not mandate the power to the centralized structures. And it's going to take decades before this transition, and Greece is not near to take this. So they will get some kind of looters that will come and just bring everything. Same thing Russia happened, Belarus is happening right now. So like bail out the banks. Yeah, let's bail out the banks. I'm for it, because there is no solution in terms to be fair to those people. There is no fair. They deserve, and if the bank abuse of them, if the banking sector is because they give them opportunity. And I will make a separate video if you want to revolt and protest, and how you want to do this in a smart way, because you cannot do this the way like people even Occupy Wall Street are doing. Even I sympathize, and they are raising the right question, but they're not going to achieve their goals. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a long video, but I just want to share those with you.